Hey folks, this is Eric Chapelle, the South Jersey real estate guy. I work with Weichert Realtors in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about whether you should or shouldn't sell your home. Deciding whether you should sell your home comes down to some financial, personal, and market-driven factors. Here are some questions that you should probably answer for yourself prior to selling your home. The first factor I want you to consider is the personal goals that you have set for yourself. Before you list your home, and I know you think you're a real estate agent, you want to just sell everybody's house, but that's not true. I'd rather sit down and talk to you a little bit and find out what your goals are. What is your long-term plan? It may not be in your best interest to sell your house right now, but those kind of things we talk about during your consultation. But there are some things you can do prior to that will help you kind of get an understanding of whether this is a good time for you or not. Are you looking to upsize, downsize, maybe relocate, or are you just looking to cash out and get the equity from your home? These are some questions you should ask yourself when it comes to your personal goals. Also, another personal goal could be, do you plan to move within a specific time frame? If you have some set times that you're thinking about, now may be more beneficial to try to list your home than it is to wait. Also, has your lifestyle or family needs, have they changed? Once your kids all grow up and leave the house and you become an empty nester, kind of like we are right now, you may have a great big house that you don't need. That's a lot of money in taxes, a lot of money in a house payment. And you're thinking to yourself, gee, I could really do something different with our lives right now if I were to get rid of this house. There's some other things I would like to accomplish as I'm getting older. Maybe, there's some financial things that you're thinking about, which leads me to the second factor, which is your financial position. So not only should you think about your personal goals, but you ought to think about your financial position. Ask yourself this question: how much equity do you have in your home? Now, a lot of times we tend to base that equity or what we think our home is worth based on what other homes have sold for. And that can be helpful at times, but it's really good to have somebody come in and sit down with you and kind of show you what the market is doing at this time and how homes are selling in your area at this time. The prices of homes a year and a half or a year ago may not be the same as they are today. And so it's a good idea to get a firm understanding of what your house would sell for, subtract your payoff. That leaves you with your net, or your gross, as far as gross profits as you get out your house. You need to ask yourself this: am I selling this home to help me achieve another financial milestone? Maybe you're looking to reduce some debt. Maybe you're looking to bolster your retirement. Maybe you're looking just to make some investments. If these are the things that you're thinking about in your financial position at this moment, it may be a good idea to think about, selling your home and taking that equity and doing something with it. Another question is, can you comfortably afford the home that you're living in right now? There are some people, because life has changed, taxes have increased, maintenance costs is going up, insurance is going up. They are feeling overwhelmed by all the new bills that they're acquiring. And as you get older, those bills become more difficult to pay. And so you need to ask yourself, can I comfortably live here and maintain what I'm doing right now? Or is it a good idea for me to sell so that I don't have this burden? Another key factor to consider when selling your home would be this: what is the current market like? I will tell you, in Camden County, New Jersey, it is still a seller's market. However, inventory may sit on the market almost 2 months now, maybe getting closer to 3 before they actually sell. And people are panicking like, oh my gosh, the market's crashing. People are discounting their homes. They're doing all this stuff because the way things were a year and a half, 2 years ago, it's not the same as it is today. The market has changed. But if your home is a good home and a strong showing home, you will demand the full price that you're asking for your house. But if your house is beat up and the maintenance has not been done properly and there's things in your home that need to be fixed, these things can be a problem and people will try to drive down your asking price. And so market conditions have changed. It's still a seller's market, but buyers are becoming more choosy, pickier about what they're buying with their money. You also need to think about this when it comes to the market that we're in. What are the current mortgage rates and how could they affect potential buyers? Now, the truth is this, people are going to buy homes regardless of what the mortgage rates are, because if the mortgage rates may seem high today compared to what they were not even 5 years ago, when people were paying 3.25% or 3.5% if they had good credit, that was an anomaly. Most people throughout history have paid between 6 and 7%. And so I don't see that the rates are going to drop to the seller again. But even if they did, if you bought a house at 6.5% and the market rates go down, you could always refinance your house and take that savings in your monthly mortgage payment and maybe reduce the term. This is something we could talk about in another video, but honestly, I would not allow mortgage rates to concern you as far as whether you should sell or not sell, because your house will sell if it's a good house. Probably one of the biggest things when it comes to selling your house that people are missing the boat on is this, and this factor is huge: the condition of your home. A lot of people have this inflated idea, my house is worth X amount of dollars, but because this house over here sold for so much money. Well, you can't just look at how much they sold their house for until you compare apples with apples. Does your house have a brand new kitchen? Have you updated the style of your home in the last 10 years? A lot of these things is there a lot of stuff that's broken that hasn't been fixed? Broken windows, broken window seals, foggy glass. These kind of things drive down the price of your home. And the truth is, if it needs a lot of major repairs before selling, it may not be a good idea for you to sell right now. Maybe you should fix those things first and then think about selling so that you can maximize your investment and get the most equity out of your home as possible. Another thought would be this: are you prepared to have people come through your home? A lot of times people want to sell their home, but they're very picky about who comes to see their home and whether they're willing to open up their house, to have an open house and let people come through and see what they have. And a lot of times people get nervous, like, what if somebody tries to steal something? What if they, and there's all these what ifs. And I get it, I understand. But if you're not prepared to stage your home, it means making it spotless and getting rid of the clutter and having your home organized so that people, when they open a closet, stuff doesn't fall out on them. If you're not willing to do that, and if you're not willing to have people come to your home to see your home, it's probably not a good idea to sell it. However, if you are, it might be a good time for you to sell. The final factor I want to talk about is this: the cost of holding your property versus letting it go. When it comes to holding your home, you got to ask yourself, are the property taxes, HOA fees, the maintenance of my property, is it getting too expensive? If the answer to that question is yes, it's probably a good idea for you to let it go. You say, but I love my home. This is my forever home. This is the home I thought I'd never, ever leave. I get all of that. I understand. But sometimes the cost ratios don't justify staying. And it's just better for your family, better for you financially just to move on. Another thought is this: would renting my home be more beneficial than selling it? In other words, am I willing to allow somebody to come move in here and rent my property and let them pay the mortgage so that I can purchase something different that best suits my needs? Now, I will tell you from experience, my wife and I bought a townhouse out of at one time that we lived in for about a year and completely gutted it, remodeled it. But at the end of that year, it was just way too small for us and we needed a house. So we ended up buying another house, but I didn't really want to sell that property yet. I just didn't feel like it was the right time. And so I put it on the market as a rental and we rented it for almost 2.5 years. Now, not everybody can do that, and I get it, but it was beneficial to me because the market got hotter in that area. And in that 2 years after renting, once the lease was up, I put it on the market and sold it and got top dollar for my home. So it was better for me to hold it, rent it, and wait for things to improve my situation so I could actually make more money. So again, these are just some of the factors that you need to ask yourself before you list your home to sell it. Now, if you're listening to this video and and you live in Camden County, New Jersey, or you live in South Jersey, and you're asking yourself, man, should I rent or should I sell or should I keep my property or should I get rid of it, cash in my equity? If you have these questions, I'd be glad to sit down and talk to you. I really want to try to help you do what's best for you and your family. I hope this video helps you. I know a lot of people are contemplating whether they should sell or not. I'm hoping this helps you better understand what you should be thinking about. My name's Eric Chapelle. I'm the South Jersey real estate guy. Again, it's been a pleasure talking to you today. Look forward to talking to you again soon.